around Kai's Clan is seeing the engagement level of kids, of students, just go through the roof when they realize they can use their 3D printing, they can design stuff in Minecraft, you know, they can get very creative, and then seeing those, you know, that engagement coming through to real world learning. There you go. So let's move on to the next slide.
So when we designed Kai's Clan, we had a look at all the other really amazing robots that's actually out there. And we were very cheeky. So we decided we're going to take all the best bits from these robots and we're going to put it into Kai's Clan. So we wanted to make census really easy, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But the main thing for Kai's Clan is that cloud control. And what that means is that you can actually code from anywhere in the world. So today you'll see we've got 4 robots sitting here. This is an awesome little, there's a chocolate in there. And one of you need to go and pick up that chocolate with a robot. And if you never coded before, we will talk you through it. So like Bruce was saying, you choose the tool, and you can actually collaborate from anywhere in the world. So when we spoke to some teachers, we saw that they really like our integrated lesson plan. So we really want to try and make it cross-curricular so that you don't have to, you know, just do digital technologies or just CS. It's real-time collaboration, like I said. And then we've got standards aligned with SD that we're busy working on, and it's just on a browser. So really, you don't need anything special. If you do want to do AR, you can just have an iPad, otherwise just a browser. Here's a little thing from one of our teachers.
I'm Alicia Verwee. I'm at Westside Elementary in Picayune, Mississippi. I teach gifted education, 2nd through 6th grade. My students do a lot of coding and robotics as part of our creative problem solving. The reason that I chose Kai's Clan is the versatility and the wide variety of the problem solving. Also the real world integration. So it gives the students the motivation to actually stick with the project, stick with the task, being able to see the real, you know, look like I'm on Mars, look like I'm in a factory and actually doing something rather than just coding and a robot moving.
So one of the very fun features that offers a lot of learning and storytelling is what we call robot avatars or robot actors. And this gives the students the ability to not just code a robot, because we've all done coding robots and it's like, hey, look, I made this robot move across the mat and I made it follow a line. But how does that attach to real world learning? So what in Kai's Clan, what the kids can do is design their own avatar or actor that stitches to the physical world. So with Kai's Clan, it's very unique. We have a virtual world and a physical world, and both of them are attached to each other. So when I code my robot to move forward, you'll see the virtual characters move. And the freedom of creation, so if you're doing a history lesson on a great war, you can replicate that using tools like Tinkercad or Minecraft to design those elements, put them on the mats, get the kids to code their horses or their robots, and interact with each other.
But I think even more fun is, you know, you've now maybe created Harry Potter or Steve or a Creeper. We can actually now do some gamification or add some gaming elements. So you can actually go and put animation. So we can put fire or ice or put some sparkles on a chicken if you want to be a chicken. So there's a lot of different effects that you can actually apply to your virtual world as well.
So yeah, you probably at this stage, you're going, wow, this has got so much. But it's like watching one of those TV commercials. But wait, there's more. So on the bottom left here, you can see the kids actually, this is not a staged photograph. This is just one of the many photographs we have. And I don't think you see one student in any of these photographs looking up the ceiling going, I'm bored. You know, we have a high level of engagement when kids are using the product. So there you've got one girl holding the iPad. She's looking at an augmented world on a piece of paper that represents the mat. She can actually see those chickens and ducks of the physical robots that are on the mat. So it just works on any browser.
And there's more.
And there's, but wait, there's more. So yeah, we support augmented reality. So here you can see a Mars rover moving across, and you can see another player. You got a busy Amazon warehouse, and this is all done with augmented reality. So we have these different mats. If you've, did we send out the links to the app?
Yes, we have. You might have got it in your email, but we'll also bring it up a little bit later, and you'll be able to scan your.
Catherine.
So you'll be able to log in and actually see what's going on in the 3D world. So that's really good. Okay, we'll come back to that one.
So when you watch that 3D world, whether you're on your phone, an iPad, or even VR, you're not just seeing what you're doing as a student, but you can actually see what other students are doing as well. It's a multiplayer experience, and kids are very familiar with this when they're playing Fortnite and Minecraft. So, you know, it's nothing new to them. It's new to us oldies, you know.
Oh, speak for yourself.
So yeah, the one thing you've got to remember with Kai's Clan is the virtual and the physical are tied together. Probably my personal favorite feature of Kai's Clan is the data. And much like Elon and his spacecraft that when they crash, he uses that data. When the spacecraft crashes, he doesn't go and look at the video footage and go, oh, geez, I wonder what happened this time. Let me try again. He would look at the data and look at the representation of that data, analyze it, do graphing on it, look at the performance of each of the rocket engines, look at the performance of any flaps, and he would look at that data and then go, okay, now we see the problem and now we need to fix it. So data is very important, a lesson to be learned. I'm a big fan of it. I think teachers, you know, I think in the school it can be a little bit scary, but it doesn't have to be. We've made data with a very low floor. So what this means is 2 lines of code here. You see the sad looking plant in New Zealand?
Or the dog or the plant?
There's the plant.
Okay.
And that plant, as you can see, it needs some love. And that soil moisture sensor is monitoring the moisture inside the soil. And the robot circuit board outside of the robot is going to pump water into that plant based on that condition. If robot 5 moisture sensor is below 20% moisture in the soil, then turn on the water pump and carry on doing that until that moisture gets there. So we support over 35 different sensors, including the BBC microbit.
And I also think it's important here to show, you will see this Blockly. So even for primary schools, you can use Blockly or, and do the sensors super easy. And we've now also added Python. So for any secondary schools or colleges, you can actually use the same product. Lesson plans. So we've got over 60 lesson plans now, cross-curricular. We really wanted, you'll see like on Mars, that can be social studies. But it can be English literatures, you know, telling the story. So we really wanted to cross over all the different subjects. You can also see the lesson plans for the teacher as well as the students. They get a plan. And then once you've done all the lessons, you can also go and create your own project. So You can then just add that project, and that will then sit in the community, and you can share with the community. So you'll see we've got different levels. Kai's Clan is aimed at 7 to 15 years of age. So here you'll see there's junior, this intermediate, and expert. So that's elementary, middle school, high school, and then college as well. So just depending what level you are, and there's something for everybody. So we're busy working with ST for the student alignment. And then the next thing is hybrid and distance learning. I mean, we're very fortunate in New Zealand. We don't have too much, so all our schools are open. But in the rest of the world, I think there's a lot of hybrid and distance learning happening at the moment. And you can use Kai there. So there's a great picture there of the teacher actually having some students in another area, and they've actually crossed over. Students in libraries that they can't go to the school, they actually just get together. And the picture on the right is actually a really good representation of the teacher just go in, he switches everything on, he switches the robots on, and the students are all at home and they can code those robots from home. So with onboarding, obviously any product, speak to Liz and Kelly and their team. They will also do training. We can help with training as well. We do certificates up to 10 different levels that we can work with you. But the important thing is we also do a free online setup. So we spent about 2 hours, up to 2 hours, to get you up and going. Because the last thing I want is to see that Kai robot sitting in a cupboard. We really want you to use it. So we will help as much as we can. We have a lot of webinars like this one today. And then every bit of Kai's Clan, there is a little snippet and a little video on our YouTube channel that you can go and follow. So we really aimed high with Kai, but we wanted to create that low floor. So exactly, we will see, you know, maybe this is a really good chance. I mean, Krishna and Catherine, have you done some coding before?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, at school, long ago.
Long ago. That's really good because we'll be able to, you'll see, Catherine, we'll set you up and you'll move this robot across the mat, and Krishna, the same with you. We'll do that a little bit later. So it just depends on the level. We've even got these awesome little coding cards. So it will show you how to move forward, how to turn left, how to turn right. So this comes in the kit, but they're also digital little lessons that's it's on the platform. So just a couple of qualifiers from Common Sense. We're really lucky there. We also got the Common Sense topic for learning. And then
Donnelly here in Texas in the US, and I love talking to Kai's Clan because they always have the craziest ideas. You can really throw anything at them and somehow they always come through with a way to figure it out. They have such an amazing platform for you to be able to share and learn with your students, and your students have a chance to really be the creators of content, not just learning how to code and not seeing that code come to life, but really even developing your own 3D content and pulling it in and having gameplay and opportunities for your students to see those things come to life, both in augmented, virtual, and even in the 3D on your computer. So it's so wonderful to see the cross-platform opportunities for our kids and using this amazing immersive technology resource with Kai's Clan. So I hope you guys have a chance to check it out.
Okay, a lot of talking, everybody. We touch our noses when we say too much talking in this place. So we're going to go over to a demo. But first, some questions. Any questions? Oh, we see Maria. Oh, Maria. We know Maria from Australia. I think it's the same Maria. Welcome. And yeah, let's get going. But any questions? No? Okay. So we have. Sorry.
I said I didn't think we all want to see it in action because that's why I
Yeah.
said it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think most people have got their app. If you don't have the app, maybe just look for it in the App Store. Well done, Krishna. So if you've got the app, Krishna and Catherine and anyone else, you can scan the center classroom code with your virtual viewer. So select Mars and then hold the phone up and try and scan the center QR code.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
Okay.
That's big. Cool.
A thumbs up if you've got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Krishna, you've got it. Catherine, how are you getting on? And Maria, are you going to join?
Yeah, just downloading the Kai's virtual viewer. Is that what we need?
Yep. And then once
Yeah,
that's on there, you'll do the classroom code. Just hold it up in the QR.
I will put the classroom code in the chat. So if you don't have the QR code, you can type it in.
That's it.
Yep.
Catherine,
You should see the, see the Mars.
Okay. So now I'm going to switch over to Kai's Clan, and here you can see we've got our interface. I'll just do a new share. This one here. Okay, so this is basically the Kai's Clan interface. Before we get you to actually do some coding, I'll just give you a quick overview of it. On the left-hand side, if you've got your coding blocks, and today we're going to be using motion blocks. And all you're going to do is you're going to drag these out like jigsaw puzzles. If you've done coding already, then congrats. But they just snap like jigsaw puzzles. And then you snap them in and then you click run. So that's what it is. On the right-hand side, you've got a map view. And you can also see the video view of our robots on the mat. And there I am moving it by hand, robot 11. And you can see that robot moving there. So now as a teacher, I'm going to add you guys in as students. So I can see we've got...
just add some students in. So we've got
Okay.
Kat. Catherine, we're just going to call you Kat. Is that all right? Yep.
Thumbs up there.
Okay,
So you're
and
going to be
we've got-
robot 7.
And we've got Krishna, Krishna.
H-N-A, is that correct?
No, one
No,
H.
1H,
Yep.
there we go.
Yep. And we've
robot-
got Maria. Are you going to join in coding?
Sorry, I've got a meeting I have to go to. So I might just skip this bit. I'll join another
Okay.
time when I can do it. I'm sorry.
No
Yeah.
worries.
Thanks,
no
Ron.
worries. No worries.
Thanks.
Great
Ron.
stuff.
Bye.
Bye, Maria.
Do I
See.
have to view that code that you see?
So
Sorry. You go, Kelly.
I was to say, the way that I have it set up is on my mobile device, I have the viewer, and then on my computer, I have kind of like the coding interface.
And how
So there should be a URL for that. Where
yes, let me put that in. I'll put it into
And-
the chat for
mm.
you. So on
And one-
your,
Yeah. So on your computer, you go to app.kaisclan.ai.
Mhm.
And then you log in as a student. There's a slide for it.
yeah, I know.
And you just put your first name, so student is Krishna or Kat, and then the classroom code, it will ask you for classroom code, and that's at FSP FPB.
Now, if so your students would be listed all there and they would log in with their name, but they might not all be associated with a robot. Is that true? Okay.
Yeah, so not everybody has to be a coder of a robot. Much like mission control for NASA, they're not controlling all the Mars robot, but they're doing a lot of other things. So we can have some students like coding the virtual world, some students gathering data, monitoring data, monitoring services. Yeah, so not everyone has to just be coding the actual robots. But we can only have one robot driver at a time, which makes sense really. Like, you know, you only have one person driving your car.
Yeah.
Although my wife likes to
Taxi driver. Okay, so we can see Krishna's on. Kelly, are you still on?
Yep.
Don't quite see you logged on.
Let me see. It was where am I? Blockley right there. And
yeah, I can see you. And Kath, you trying to come on? You on?
So,
cool. Yes. Okay. So you will see you all have got allocated robots. And as teachers, you obviously just load it. Now you can also go and print out all these little login cards for your students. So as a teacher, you set them all up and then you go print login cards and you can just hand those out to your students. Did you save all that?
yeah.
Cool.
So, right, the challenges. So now you've got your virtual viewers. In your virtual viewers, you should be able to see your robots. So on your phones, you should be able to see your robots. Now, each of you should be able to go to motion, free movement, and drag move forward or move backwards function and snap it into the run block. Oh,
right. Kelly is off.
Kelly's.
So let's try and move 20 centimeters forward. I can see Kelly is going straight for that chocolate. Whoa.
oh, I didn't even realize the chocolate was there. I knew it was something there, but I wasn't like putting.
Yeah. I'll believe you, but others won't.
Oh, too bad I can't eat it since you're really far away.
But you can. It's virtual chocolate.
It's okay. I'll just eat it for you. Go.
Okay, that would make me feel better.
Okay, so let's see. So we're going to move forward, say 20 centimeters. And then I've just moved you back, Carol, so that you can see. So you'll be able to see it on your map. So let's just work with a map right now. And then we can move over to that virtual world. So once you've all done it, let's hit run at the bottom left. So Bruce has shared the screen with you. Questions?
Krishna, how are you getting on?
I clicked in the. Yep, I think I'm moving.
Yeah.
Is that
You're
you?
alive. Yeah, that's it. Catherine,
Awesome.
how are you getting on?
Where do I have to go?
Did you log into
Yeah, no.
app.kai's-clan?
Where does the robots have to go? Just forward.
Just forward at the moment, and then we can do more advanced things.
Okay.
So just free movement and move forwards.
Yeah, when I went to the chocolate, which I didn't realize it, I just saw that 113 on the grid inside the interface, and I was like, oh. And I just put the clicked on it, saw the XY axis points, and then put them in the mat movement.
Yeah, that you got it. So yeah.
I didn't realize the chocolate was there, and I won the prize. I was like,
oh.
So, and then
we got it.
I think what makes this so cool, or what I think makes this so cool, is that like you have this mat and we're doing this and we're able to like watch the robot move, but like when you do the AR viewer, you can like actually put different types of obstacles in the way or change it up and personalize it in that sandbox.
In your phones, on your phones, can you see your robots moving when you run your code?
Let me see.
Okay, I want to make sure Catherine gets it as well. So we're going to do this first with you. So Catherine, maybe for the moment, let's look on your computer. Yeah, so on your computer, on the left-hand side, so you've logged into app.kai's-clan. Yeah, and you can see all the codes. Yeah. And then, so on the left-hand side, there's newbie and expert. So click on newbie. Then you'll see there's sandbox, motion, bits. So go into motion. Under motion, there's free movement. And then drag that out. So you sort of click and drag it out and pop it into that run button. And then you can put, it will say 7 Kath, move forward, and then put 10 centimeters. You can type the centimeters in there. And then at the bottom left, there's a big button called run.
Ah, I missed that.
We missed that one. And then you hit run.
Nothing happened.
Oh, woo! We're away.
And she's going. Cool. Okay.
Oh, that's
So
huge.
that was 10 centimeters. Yes.
If you click on the robot ID of your robot, you can actually see the X and Y position, and you can actually calculate how far it actually moved to what you typed in. Now, we've got 2 types of movement. We've got free movement, which is like you don't have to have a mat. So that's where we start getting kids introduced to Kai's Clan. We put them on their tables, we put the robots on the kids' desk, put them at home, wherever you like, and the kids can like learn about basic move forward, left, right, open the grippers, do some basic functions. But the big benefit of Kai's Clan comes alive once you do mat movement. So mat movement is like what Kelly was saying. She typed in the position. So I can say here, Robot 11, go and get the chocolate at 113. So I can click on 113 on the mat, and I can get the coordinates down here, 37 and 23. And then I can type that in. So I want you guys to see if you can get the chocolate. So we've got chocolate at objects. Oh, somebody typed me a message.
Sorry, it was me.
Hello.
But I think what is really important as well is when we speak to students, you know, it's not just move forward and go and pick up the chocolate because, hey, my grippers are closed. So we always try and say to them, actually act it out, just walk it through. So we get them all to stand and we say, okay, move forward 5 steps, open your arms, move forward 5 or 2 steps, close your arms, and then reverse. Because otherwise, if your arms are closed, you're just going to keep pushing that chocolate away. So we call our arms the gripper bars, and under the free movement or mat movement, you'll see this gripper bars. So you need to move to a position, and there's 2 chocolates on the mat, 113 and 114. They both have chocolates. So you have to move there, or you can start with your arms open and move all the way to that spot, close your arms, and then go, and then reverse.
I love it that if someone doesn't open their arms, they're going to push the target. And then everyone who's watching it, who might be home or wherever, is going to be like, now the target's not where I thought it was. No, I have to change X, Y. And so now you're like kind of chasing it with trying to adjust your code, which is, I think, awesome.
And I think also it's quite good at the beginning of every student's code to add a home position for each student, because you've got to think we're all playing in the same sandpit. It's important to move back to your home base. Otherwise, you're in the way for other students to have a turn. So what I like to do is always put my home base at the beginning of my code. So I'll use a mat movement block and say robot 11, move to 020, let's say.
And I think by doing that too, you're differentiating between kind of like remote control and coding. Because coding, you're kind of figuring out the progression and the logic, where if you're just kind of like chasing the chocolate, you're just adding it, you're just reacting. So you're not thinking it out in the same way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But now we've got like other little blocks as well, because what we've got at the moment, it just says move to X, Y. So you're going to keep, we've got just about,
It
if
looks,
we just close the arms, We're very close there. But anyway, so we've also got a block that actually under mat movement, under expert. So you'll see we've got newbie blocks and expert blocks. So if you go to expert blocks and you go under mat movement, you'll see very similar blocks. They're still there. But you've actually got one that says move to XY and then stop 5 centimeters away. So you can then stop, then open your arms and then move forward. So in our lesson plans, there's lots of different ways that you can actually complete those lessons.
And I love cheating. I love doing this. I'll show you what I do. I use this block, and I'll say, if I just highlight this block for you. So if you can see that, it says, robot 11, move to the position of bot 113.
Liz goes, oh, but that's cheating. It's like, wow.
Because what happens is if somebody pushes that chocolate to a different location, my code is going to adaptively update and always go to 113 wherever the chocolate is. So that's a chocolate hunter code, that one.
So I have a question. So if I am using Blockly and I want to see kind of under the hood, like I want to say to the kids, here's this piece of code that kind of is what I call true coding, when you can, write code that makes it simplify everything, right? I worked with this one guy and he had a button for everything. So he never had to type anything after he wrote the code. Where can you show them what it kind of looks like under the hood? Is it Python or?
Yeah, so you can turn on the matrix and go into the matrix. If you just click this Python button here, and then this will open up what we call our translator.
Awesome.
Now, most robotic platforms, the advantage of coming into the market a little bit late in terms of offering a product is we can analyze and see what everyone's been doing and how we can make it better. Because when you're developing code, it takes a long time, but we can really improve things here. So you can see here, this is our Python. It looks very complicated. It doesn't have to be. So you can see here, here's our code. It looks very difficult, but it's very easy. I can actually just start typing move space. What am I doing? Move. And I can see all the different move forwards, So there's a robot field. So I can say robot 11, and I want to move forward 20. Now, I don't know if you can see in the background, that code block has automatically been formed.
See, I think that's really powerful. Like, I think that's really cool that they can see, like, here's this like cryptic syntax right here. I love that word. That kind of relates right back to the kind of puzzle pieces. Because, I feel like right around 5th grade, 6th grade, they kind of want to look under the hood. They've made enough chicken sounds with like, the game pieces, or listen to themselves, record themselves and things. Now they're ready to kind of look under the hood. And this allows you to do that. Like, here's a simple piece of code that makes my robot more robust than your robot. So I'm definitely getting the chocolate. And this is why. And no matter where you try to move it, this piece of code is going to outsmart. It's going to keep modifying. I think that's awesome.
So when kids are going and adults are going back and forth between two languages, so a block-based language and Python, we call that translanguaging. And that is something we want kids to be able to do, to be literate in computer science, is to translanguage between different programs or coding platforms, because as they grow up, it might not be the same. There's always new stuff, and understanding the concepts of an if-then statement, understanding how the robot is always going to, bot 113, that's more important than the actual syntax or the blocks. So getting kids to do stuff like that is really important and really powerful.
And I think, like if you then get stuck on Python, you can come back to Blockly load that Blockly, and then go and see what does that look like in Python.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
I
you
always
can
would
do
see kids do that.
illustration.
We would do Arduino and they would have the block base on half their screen and then the Arduino language on the other half their screen, and they would be making changes in both of them, which is more work on their part, but don't tell them that. It was great, great learning for them and great experience for them to figure out how to actually do text-based coding.
That's right. So obviously, oh, you want to go on to some logic.
Yeah, I was going to say, can anyone decipher what the code or what the logic is I've got on my screen?
Okay.
Oh,
What does it mean?
So we know it's in a loop,
right.
and the loop says if
Open.
is bot 11 at this coordinate. So, I mean, if we take this out and we need to make it simple, so the logic is say continuously run this loop because it's in the loop function. If statement, robot 11 gets to this position within a, let's say, a 20 centimeter radius, then robot 11 is going to play a song.
Yep.
So this might be, you've got a house alarm and you go, if you enter my house, you know, I'm going to call the cops. So, you know, you can do this. Or if a robot comes near me, I need to service that other robot, you know, so you can do these conditions.
And I think that's what we did with watering the plant. So when the sensor for our moisture level showed that it was dry, then we could go and water the plant. So we really want to use like one line of code to make and solve real world problems really easy.
So if we move robot 11 closer to the 2020 coordinate, which is all the way over there, Renel's got super long arms.
This mat's are 80 centimeters, just in case. Is it around right there?
There we go.
Oh, Indiana Jones. And everybody woke up with that. Right. And Kath, you've got your chocolate and she's off and she's hugging it and she's not going to share that with anybody. I love it. Very, very good. Okay, any questions?
I think Catherine's got a question.
No?
No?
Okay, so
I have to turn a bit more.
Well,
So on the,
you've seen it now in the 2D world.
Kelly's got a question.
What
No, go
about
ahead.
3D?
let's play around with can we play around with the viewer
Yeah.
a little bit and see that? Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so you've all got your virtual viewers, right? So you've also got the virtual viewer inside the browser if you want to, which is here. So I'm gonna load that up here. Here we go. I've got it here. So I can also see the virtual viewer, and you should be able to see all your robots. Thumbs up if you can see your own robot in the virtual viewer.
Do not.
So I'll move them. This is Kelly's robot.
Yes, going to load it back. up.
Krishna, have you got your virtual viewer running? Can you see your robot in it?
That's Kat's one here. Make a move.
I've got my virtual viewer running. I'm not sure where my robot is.
Okay, maybe if you can't see your robots, maybe just exit and make sure you've got the classroom, just scan that classroom code again. So select Mars and
Oh,
scan
there we
that.
go. Yep,
So
I
now-
see me.
Kelly, you all good?
Oh, I see them now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
awesome.
just moved on to the screen. I see my
Cool.
Right,
phone.
now challenge. I reckon, okay. Why don't we put one of them on fire? Let's
Oh.
do some,
Yeah, so if you click with the virtual viewer, you've got some buttons down the left-hand side. You've got a home button, which takes a top view. you've got a little cinematic view, and then you've got a switcher. So if you click this like double arrow, it'll switch between the different players on the mat. So we can switch between each of the students and each of the objects. Now, what we want to do is inside Kai's Clan, you can click on Sandbox. So on your computers, if you click on Sandbox, and you can go and then go animations or effects or any one of these and drag them in and select like an animation. So I'm going to animate when it, now also just to note, when you are doing an animation or effect, there is an option here to say when to apply that, when the robot's moving or when it's idle. I suggest just do it when it's idle, otherwise you won't see any effect unless you're coding your robot. So do some effects, do some trails, do all speech bubbles. We like to get communication going through the virtual world. So make sure you select your robot ID in the list as well. And once you're ready, just click run. What's that?
Just go wide.
So here I've got my virtual view. I'm going to click run. I'm going to go to robot 11. Here's my robot. There he is. Whoa, he's bouncing.
It's digging.
Okay.
Bring some of those soil samples back. I can see there's all the robots starting. That one is spinning. Well done. And jumping. So there's lots of different things that you can go and do in your virtual world. Yeah. Now, I'm going to make it, Bruce is probably saying we shouldn't do that, but I like all the rovers, but I'm a really big animal fan. So I actually want to do these robot avatars that we showed you when we were talking showing the PowerPoint. So Bruce, do you want to talk us briefly through how we can import using the Minecraft Tinkercad or our gallery?
Well, the easy way to do this, to change your character, is just click on Sandbox, Load Model, and drag that into your coding blocks. So just Sandbox, Load Model, and drag Load Avatar. And now there's 6 pages of preloaded avatars we've already got loaded. And these avatars are from Tinkercad or from other 3D sources.
Or Minecraft, you can export Minecraft.
Yeah.
So there's little videos on our website of how to actually do those different tasks. But for now, we've given you lots of little options. Oh, there's Read from Among Us.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of things in here. So I'm going to be Red, and I'm going to assign that to my robot. So just remember to assign it to your robot. Click Run. And where's my, oh, he's got the magic effect on it. So you'll see now I've got bubbles on my robot, and there's Red. So I can now be a red robot on Mars.
Bubbles there.
Oh no, that's the water effect.
So,
oh, somebody's a tree. Kelly, you're a tree.
So what is really good is that students, when they're remote, they can go and add these effects to their own robots, to their friends' robots. They can go and make, all these little, our chocolate gripper bars that we've just had. You can turn this into a space station or anything that you really want, and then you can start interacting with that. Oh, somebody's a dog. Oh, I like the little...
Oh, a beagle.
Beagle.
Kath, you're a beagle.
Very good. So, oh, there's a parrot. I like the parrot. Now it's a fox. So what is really good as well, we often get the kids to actually on the mat, especially primary school, elementary school, to sit with Lego and go and build maybe your little parrot or go and build your little tower. So you can then physically put it on the mat, and then with these QR codes that you can print out, which is also in that sandbox area, you can just stick a QR code on top of your parrot. So then you can physically go and move your parrot with your hand, and you'll see that movement in your virtual world.
Wow.
So I can see Bruce is scaling the poor about us into a rocket, and I can see he's probably going to fly him as well. So you can make objects fly. So we've obviously got different mats. You would have seen on your phone, there's different mats. But the last thing that we want to do as well is AR. So you've all got your phone, and Bruce is going to put the mat just on the screen. Obviously, if you've got the physical mat in front of you, you will just hold over the mat. And I can do that with my iPad to show you, and then we will put a mat on the screen and you can see that as well. I just need to catch Bruce because he is coding. Can you join the iPad?
Yeah, I'm just making my Robot 11
huge.
sound like a rooster.
Okay.
Oh my.
That was me, sorry.
Okay, so can you...
Oh, what are we doing?
Share screen with the iPad.
iPad,
Yeah.
there we go. So as you can see with Kai's Clan, it is very wide. It's got a low floor. It's easy to get started, and you can go all the way to, probably the first year of university, really. It's got a lot of things there. So this is the augmented view of the physical mat we have on the table. And we can see all the robots moving around. Robot 11 there. I'm doing some hand coding on that.
So we can actually take another layer off. Now we can see some 3D world. We can see the robot with a little avatar or the little actor following it. So you can see that it's in our office, and there's all your different robots. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so Bruce, can you put on the Mars mat, and then they can hold up their phones and have a look. See if that's going to work.
So yeah, if you press on the AR icon on your phones in the Mars view, if you press AR, you should see all your little robots appearing in AR.
Is it working?
Yeah, looking cool.
Cool. And then obviously the same with the phone. If you've got VR, you just put it in a Google Cardboard or something, and then you experience that VR. So we've got the different mats. So once everybody has seen that, maybe we'll just quickly flick through the virtual worlds on the different mats. Can you do that on the UI? Okay. So
apparently it's color sensitive. It doesn't work when I print out in black and white.
We were talking about that too.
Yeah,
they said that's the default teacher printing mode. Like
no, but I have a laser printer and it's only black and white. So
yeah.
Yeah. But if you have the physical mat, which is in color, what happens is the kids can hold the iPads or the phones over the physical mat.
Yeah.
So that does work. Now, as you can see here, we've got Mars. I'm going to switch to the different virtual mats. Each physical mat has a virtual, virtual counter lesson. This is New Zealand. Welcome to New Zealand. And you can see your robots. We can see the sheep on it. And we can see the different markers and the different elements. We also have a friendly shark here as well.
No sharks are friendly, Bruce. But good try.
And as a teacher, I can also change the theme to deserts and space. So I can switch it. So as a teacher, you've got full control of Kai's Clan. In fact, like the chat function we were looking at earlier, you can switch that off and switch it on. So we've got a lot of teacher controls.
So this is the create mat, which is like a clear mat. So on the create mat, you've got 3 virtual worlds. Now these 3 virtual worlds don't have AR and VR. They just 3 virtual worlds on the create mat. But you can still go and do it. And also on the create mat, we're just about to launch a big chess challenge. So you can physically play chess against anybody in the world. So if you do want to know more, you can contact Liz and Kelly and we can talk about that. This is the smart city mat. So the kind of lessons, we covered lessons. The kind of lessons here is about solar panels. There's a whole bunch of lessons around bees. What does bees do when they come in the city? All sorts of, how does traffic lights work? Lessons like that. So that is the next one is Rescue Run. So this one is castles and knights and dragons, and Harry Potter can play on here. So lots of different things that we can do on this mat. History lessons on here. And then the last mat is our automated warehouse mat. So this is like Amazon, where you can teach logistics or just go and pick up some packets. And then if you actually put the packet, let's see if we can do this. Let's just move Kelly right there. Let's see if we can.
No, you're going to get it lifted away.
That's okay.
Put Kelly on the train.
I have a question.
Yes.
I think if it's in the works or if I missed it, I imagine that what if students created their own worlds? Like if you had one robot and then you had that grid that you had shown that you could just hand students and then they could draw their own kind of topographic AR, VR mat. They could scan it and then they could say they were, they had to kind of recreate using Kai's Clan, battle in the Civil War, or something that happened in one of the world wars or something like that piece. Because I kind of think about I don't know if anyone's familiar with the World Peace game. It's where you kind of divide the class up and you're each like your own country and you have like ambassadors and people in charge of transportation and food, and so you as a country have to organize things, but then you have to go negotiate with other countries that might have more resources than you have and so forth. And it's a physical thing where they have these layers, right, of kind of what's happening. Somebody's the weather, god, goddess, or whatever. But what if you could replicate that same type of game inside Kai's Clan where you actually were playing with people from different countries and you had this kind of real game happening that had the different kind of layers of their universe, but it wouldn't really have to be layers anymore because you're virtual. Like, they had armies and food and boats and planes.
Exactly. So with Kai's Clan, you can have classroom versus classroom. I think one of the photographs we had up earlier in the presentation, that school, they have 2 Mars mats and they have, they have competitions between the different mats. So you can do that whether you're inside the same classroom or school across the world to school. Like if we all had our own individual mats, we can actually join the same classroom and all simultaneously compete against each other or work against each other.
And then
you're using the same mat, right?
Yeah. On your other question, so we've got these existing mats.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the create mat, and then what you were asking about, all I can say is coming soon.
Because I think like that like kind of really free form. I think of like Roblox, My kids they just started playing Roblox. And so they're like, I want to get Roblox Studio, because instead of like, they want to create their own like ecosystems and figure out how to add to stuff.
Yeah, so I think with that, what you can do is use these QR codes to place buildings, infrastructure around the mat, and then you can actually interact with those.
There's about 80 different QR codes that you can go and create. So if you want to be on an island or in the desert or in space, you can choose that mat and then actually just create your whatever you want and then link it to a QR code, and then
awesome.
So here they are. So what you can do is you can just give each one a name, get the kids to draw to illustrate what their QR code is going to represent, and then they design it in Tinkercad, Minecraft, and you can see we've got loads of them, including chess characters.
Oh, cool.
So you don't even have to use robots. You can just use these QR codes on the mat and battle chess, snakes and ladders. We've got loads of stuff, which then brings us to
just the last thing is lesson projects, because I know we keep saying, and sorry, we're going a little bit over. Okay, so
wait, there's more.
Yeah, so just
always more.
This is really important.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
And you choose what you want to use. So please don't walk away thinking, oh my God, this is far too much. We will do it baby steps at a time. But when you look under projects, you'll see Kai's projects. It shows up the different mats. So if we go to the Mars mat, there you'll see the different lessons. And then the teacher, you'll see these little pink blocks. Those are the lesson plans. So if you click on maybe go exploration rover. Now what happens, it loads some sample code for the teacher and the student. They have to go and work all of that out. And then if you click on this little question mark, then it loads the lesson plan. So a student gets a lesson plan and they need to follow it through. And then for the teacher, there's a little bit extra, like how long it will be, what's the complexity, what's the importance and the outcome. So all the lessons is under our projects. And once you've done that, then you can go back to projects and you can actually go and upload your own project, which is there on the right-hand side, and it will go insert in the community. So there's a whole bunch of projects that's sitting there.
Wow.
Right. Any questions?
Awesome.
I can see. Just breathe it through.
Exactly.
I mean, we've got an hour to try and show you something, but you want to walk away and say, well, what can I do for the whole year with my students? And this is a product that you can use all year long and in different grades as well.
I mean, I think that's it. This is like something that just kind of morphs into whatever you're working on in your classroom. So if it's, I mean, it's, you can't even, I don't know. Like I'm thinking like, you know, like Krishna is a librarian. If it was like, if you were doing like the Caldecott is the like American Best Illustrator, you could have all the nominees. You could scan all the book titles and then have them move, or then have like so many things could happen.
Yeah.
What?
Talk to each other. Tell them about their books. Yeah. There's so many possibilities. And it's amazing that you can enter it at like an easy, like low level, like just start doing blocks and then progress to the AR, the VR, like creating characters, storytelling. I mean, it's literally endless at that point, and it's amazing. It really is. It could even be a product that, you know, one of the schools I work with, they teach computer science kindergarten through 5th grade. So it could be a product that the kids use every year and build on. They add a thing every year. So that's even another cool way to go.
I feel like it takes what like Lego Mindstorms is like has potential, but it's really complex. And I feel like you have to be there. There's so much. This, I feel like you can jump right in, and it's so much more diverse. Like my head is just spinning with like all sorts of ideas of how you could integrate this into across the board.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, in the library, it could be, I mean, you could have book themes, and like they could make avatars for the different books or special scenes in the book, something, you know, an item from the book that, and then people have to guess what book it is. They have to drive their like robot, like detective around and try to figure out based on like the avatar or the road maps or whatever you put up. And so,
I mean, I saw a teacher last week. They've been using the product for about 2 weeks, and they showed me using a temperature sensor which comes in the kit, and the kids were flying hot air balloons, virtual hot air balloons, based on the value of the temperature and humidity in the classroom. And these hot air balloons were going up and down based on different real, temperatures and humidities. I was like, wow, crossing over the virtual and the physical together, real world learning.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for playing. We're super excited that we have this.
I'll have your chocolate now, Kelly.
Yeah. Oh, get your chocolates.
yeah.
I can't keep any more in my house.
Thank you very, very much, Liz and Kelly and everybody. And if you don't mind, go maybe share on Twitter or anything that if you've learned anything, and, just tag Winemaker and Kai's Clan. Otherwise, we usually, from our end, we say
Big high five.
High five.